All right, can you guys hear me? Let's do some mic checks. I have the AI filters on today, so I want to make sure they're not causing troubles. Hope you guys are doing well. It's a good day today. But let me know on the mics. I'm gonna turn the music down. Yep, hear you. Cool. What's up, Sean? The Godlike. What's up, dude? All right, so let me check some stuff. Big day today, and the stuff we've been talking about for a while kind of actually happened. But see how you guys responded to it. Let me catch up with a few things, but by all means, say hi in the chat and open to discussions as always. Anything you guys want to talk about, we can go into it. Hell, if you just want to do tool tutorials, we can go over tools, indicators, bots, whale theory, rainbow theory, all that jazz. And as always, this stream is intended for educational purposes only. It's not intended to be used as financial advice. Past results do not indicate future performances. Blah 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 blah. You know the drill. What's up, Josh? We got Josh and Sean in the house. What's up, dudes? So, big week this week. A lot of the stuff like Dylan LeClaire has been talking about for a long time actually is like happening. It's really interesting to see these big titans of industry in the banking world just kind of dying. And it's kind of crazy. It's just, you think of how many times the banks have gotten onto you about like a small overdraft or such a check over $1 or something crazy, or denied you a credit loan, something like that, and then like you find out their $100 billion in loaned assets is like not properly managed and they're all underwater. So it's reckoning's coming. The Fed's kind of stepped in. I'm not going to go too crazy into a bunch of world events, but I got a few things that I want to keep the stream going with and show you guys. But anywho, Doppel came in and said hi and wants to see about the liquidity levels. Yeah, we can do that. I'm still working on it, but I've been working on a few things, and we saw some stuff today that was really good. But talk to you later, Dop. You gotta go. Yeah, we had some. I saw some posts today where people were actively monitoring liquidation levels, and lo and behold, our liquidation levels hit on the beta testing tool. So it was really cool to see that all that play out per se. So let me see. So that's on. Let me announce we are live. We'll go from there. But it's the weekend. Stuff's looking great. Bitcoin's actually showing some damn strength for the first time in a while. I mean, we've been going sideways for 9 months, so. So it's really cool. We haven't seen this type of stuff in a long time, and it feels wrong. It just feels weird to see Bitcoin moving. It's not something we're used to. Every time we've come up to a range high for the past year and a half, it nukes. It's been nuking, and it's been nuking over and over and over and over and over. And now it's not, so it's kind of cool. But it is what it is, and we gotta run with it. So let me announce it in Discord too. I don't know why that's not working. Anyway, we are live. Hit it up again. All right, everything's taken care of. So let's take a look. So everything on the screen looks right. I tried to do widescreen and Twitch will not let me. I can only do 1080p. So I apologize. I was trying to get that done. But it is what it is. It looks like we got some new people in the watching. So welcome. If you don't know what's going on, Rainbow Runner. I'm the head developer of Rainbow Theory as well as Rainbow Trends. That's why my screens look so crazy. We don't trade in black and white. Neither should you, in my opinion. You don't need all this stuff, but it really gives people an edge, and it ends up paying off in the long run. So I'm biased as can be, but I can't trade two colors anymore. Once you learn like how whales move and all that, it kind of really gets interesting. But let me turn liquidations off. And this is the beautiful range that we've been trading for 9 months, which has just been an absolute chaotic, unprecedented nightmare. Now we've been staying on top of it. We've been paying attention to the bots. We've been paying attention to our colors. We've been paying attention to our order blocks. We've been paying attention to our RSIs. A lot of stuff. This is ultra hard mode to the T. And we've caught a lot of stuff. The people in the Discord have caught a lot of stuff. And if you're new here and whatnot, go check out the website. The Discord link's in there. That's where you need to be. That's where the OG dudes killing it every week are talking charts and Rainbow Theory. And frankly, they're getting to the point where they're doing stuff with the tools I flat out am not capable of. So it's absolutely awesome to see. And shout out to all my OGs, and shout out to even the new players who are hanging out and joining the fam. The Discord's really killing it. I can't praise them enough. But we've been going through this. We even had the FTX meltdown. We went all the way back. I've had a range eye, had a nuke back down to the bottom. And lo and behold, we had this beautiful H4 bottom print, and she full freaking sent. Awesome. I remember seeing this, and I was like, man, I think that's going to be one of those bottom prints that keeps dragging down. But nope. Since that bottom print, we've gone 37%. So, in general, if you do use the runner bot, which is what these bottom and top prints are, I typically leave a few H4s alerts on permanent. So there's a few coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Sushi Swap, stuff like that. I get the emails anytime in H4 prints. So it's good just to keep that in your pocket. So like when you're away from the world and you're not watching charts and hanging out with DJs on Twitter, whatnot, you could be walking your dog and get an alert from the bot saying, hey, it looks like it's bottoming. You can zoom in and pay a little more attention. So that's cool. But the really cool thing is, and we called this, let me find it because I actually posted this. And I rarely get my drawings down to a friggin' T, but I got it this time, so I want my clout. I called it. I want to hang my hat on that one because normally I draw these usually a little way to the left or way to the right. This thing hit hard. So I was having a conversation with Crypto ISO, and they were talking about like just general on Twitter, like what's going to happen next. And I was saying, hey, this looks like it's totally going to be a bump and run. It looks like they blew out of this order block, which has been the king order block for 9 months, but they hit it too fast. They hit it too hard, right? We got a pink candle in yellow RSI print, and that's really, really, really hot, and was concerning to me because like, man, they hit it too hard. They hit it too fast. And I said, I think they're going to come back and retest the king order, the triple pivot order block. When I say triple pivot, I'm referring to there's 3 lines stacked here. And he asked for a chart, and I posted this chart and replied back to Crypto ISO. And shout out to him. He's awesome dude, awesome friend, awesome fly fisherman, and he's super, super, super in sync with liquidity. And he's taught me a lot about liquidity. So love that dude. He's awesome. He's also a really good friend of my buddy Brett, who's my OG of Rainbow Trends. So shout out to Brett as well. But anyway, I was saying, hey, it's up, but I think we're going to retest this order block. So I drew what I thought was going to happen. I was like, either we're going to bounce off this or we're going to come to the low range and then go. And I also noted we don't want to talk about what happens if this pivot goes out. Because if this pivot goes out, man, we were, oh, help me God. We were, if I really had to draw it, like these were the targets. Like if we went up above it and lost it, man, it is bad. We'd have come way down and had to wait till Bull stepped in on spot, and that's not where we wanted to be. But check it out. It's on Twitter. Proud of that one. And lo and behold, boom. We got it. She came back, retested it, shot a few wicks below this. Didn't close anything really there. Came down, kissed it. She bumped. She ran, and now we're running now, and that's what all today's been about. S&P did okay today. But Bitcoin's going crazy, Ethereum's going crazy, but pretty much everything's bowing down to the kings. Like nothing's really, like we're not seeing SHIB going on 50% runs right now or anything really out of the outlier. There's some like 10, 15%, but that's about it. Ricky Lou, thank you for the follow. Hey, Huru Guru, thank you for the follow as well. Where are you guys from? You're new. And you gotta tell me your favorite coin that we want to chart. That's the rules. Oh man, we got Jared up in the house. What's up, dude? Jared's been posting a lot. I've been reading that stuff as well. But anyway, it's running, and this is something I've been talking about. And like, guys, I know these streams. Past 9 months, the people that have been showing up to these streams, we've been trading this chaos, which is not fun. Okay, Nubesso, thank you for the follow. You guys are rocking my ears out. We've been going through these streams. They've been boring. A lot of people have been asking for more of them, but what's up, Ronnie? You guys are killing me. This is awesome. Thank you for the follows, and don't try to send me any bits or subscriptions or anything in Twitch. I do fine. If you want to show any love, get some tools, and then learn how to use the Rainbow Trend tools where you make more money and then it pays for itself and everyone's happy. Push comes to shove, if you want to donate anything, I'm going to send it to a local pound. I'm not going to put it in my pocket. So, anyway, people ask sometimes, so I'm just saying that. I don't have anything set up in Twitch where you can donate. But this has been boring. Thank you for the OGs for staying with us this whole time. And frankly, this has been a time where the whole Discord community and Rainbow Trends group in general has been honing their skills, pushing the tools further than they can go, making new tools, working with you guys. Shout out to Rob TRX. He was a godsend this range. He came to me and wanted to pioneer S&P 500 trading on the 30-second interval. And at first I told him, I was like, dude, I don't know if it's going to work. Like I was like, I don't think you can push these tools down to 30 seconds. And the dude mastered it and he's killing it. And we've now taken those learnings and translated that to some of our other professional traders who trade S&P on like the 1 minute candles. And they're using like his settings. So shout out to Rob TRX. Please keep hanging out with us in the Discord. And for the OGs in the Discord, make sure you like give that dude a bunch of praise. He DMs me all the time, and I'm trying to get him to hang out with us a little bit more because he's really got some eyesight. Because the dude's killing it on 30-second candles, which I think is insane, and I never thought was possible. But I'm really digressing here. Team's doing great. We got some new tools from Blake. We got new RSI bot alerts. I'm working on liquidity tools. They're coming as well. I'm trying to work with Dirt Crypto to get him an auto fib tool that will do alerts on the golden pocket, but that one is completely whooping my butt right now. But the good news is you're still here. We've been running through this. We've been getting better. We've been teaching each other. Frankly, there's people now in the Discord running Rainbow Trends tools better than I can. And that was my dream like 2 years ago, thinking is like eventually these people are going to show up and they're going to be better than me, and it's going to be amazing to see it. And we're there. These dudes are doing trades on the weekly. Posting up is just crazy. But long story short, we've been knocking through this, cutting our teeth, paying our dues, and now it looks like we're actually coming up and out, and this range is finally broken. I really don't want to speak too soon, but like I'm running out of arguments to say how this completely pulls back unless something gigantic happens on the worldwide front with something crazy of like a COVID level or like a mass FDIC default or something like insane, JP Morgan defaulting, something crazy. That's what we're looking at to really, I think, pull out of this. All intents and purposes, this was the king pivot block, and we set this back in July of 2022, right? Came up here, failed to even touch it. I think we wicked it once. We came up here, got to the very, very tip top, boom, failed. We've now hit it, and we've gotten above it, and we got our retest. So knock on wood, and, you know, all intents and purposes, what I'm going to tell you is, like, if we're long in this, because this looks like we're pulling up and out of accumulation, it's real obvious where we're going to try to like stop loss, right? Like anything that deviates below this king order block is going to have issues. For the past almost year, this has been the ceiling. It is now the floor, right? We want a solid base floor for the next bull run. And that's looking like what we're doing here. So hopefully, that's where we're at. And hopefully these things keep running. Now the problem, caveat here, the problem is if these bulls go too hot too fast, we are going to have pullbacks. And that's part of crypto. We saw it really, really bad in 2017. Huge bull parabolic runs, and it would whiplash back. Maybe it was Alameda. Don't really know. But there was a lot of whites and a lot of pinks printed with rainbow trends back in the day, and it was painful. Still in a bull mood, but man, it would pull back 30-something% in a day. And it was just super, super scary. Hopefully we're not there again. Hopefully this just keeps grinding up and it keeps it easy. But right now we're looking at, the halvings coming up next year, I think. I don't know the exact date. It's not anytime soon. But we're setting up like the bottom of the base floor on a bunch of things. And if we want to hang out and go through the Mayer multiple, the halving cycles and all that, we can. But the bottom looks like it's in. And that's what's scary is every time people wanted to call bottom here, we never really reclaimed and held it. We had a breakout here back in April, and then we nuked. We held up here at 25, 30K, and then Tesla sold and we nuked. And then we've been going through all this, and then FTX exploded. And then now we're pulling back up. And this is the first time since, I don't know, September of 2021, we've reclaimed a range. Like we've printed a lower range and we're pulled up. Like this is the first time we've seen it in a year and a half. So it's very important because this is really, really, really reminiscing of like what 2019 was, 2018 when we pulled out after the parabolic run from 20K all the way down to 3,200. So it's looking like it's there. And I think this is honestly probably the release. You're starting to get into the safer window of being able to buy spot and hold it. And I think that's where we're going to go. I think as a lot of people are fully deployed right now and they're planning on holding this until something crazy happens. So we shall see. But anyway, let me catch up on chat real quick, see what's going on. Swaggy, I am looking at alts. We can look at Algo, although Algo is a nemesis of mine. Link as well. I've been watching Link really, really hard. XRP, sure. XRP, I think, is an indicator of how bad the SEC is doing. Nujabeso, what is up, my man? Hi from Taiwan. New to the stream. Ricky, what's up, man? I actually don't know if I have any clients or users in Taiwan. I've got South Koreans, and I've got Japanese. I'm trying to think. I've got people in India as well. Anyway, cool, man. Thanks for hanging out. Fizzin, ETH is looking amazing right now, and I'll cover that in a bit. Usually it's number 2 coin that I look at. Will you please hide the arrows? What arrows? The bull prints? Whale prints? And Gala. I'm good. Enjoying the teach. What's up, man? Sean, my bad. Thailand. Sean, I'm so sorry. You're right. Yeah, we can look at all those and just remind me later when we start getting into the lower caps. The arrows, if you're talking about these, usually the bull prints, we can turn those off. I think in this part of the cycle, I'm not paying as much attention to them. And if you want to do this on your own rainbow trends, go over to the style, go all the way down under all the colors, and you can turn them off here. Or you can just type in 999, whatever, in the whale sensitivity, and that'll turn them off too. But that'll get the arrows off. And I hope that's what you're talking about because I don't see any white drawn arrows. Oh, no. I'm keeping those bad boys. That's my clout stuff. I actually drew a damn line on a call publicly, and it hit within like $1. So I was like, we're leaving those. But anyway, she's looking like she's going to roll. The caveat here is if this runner bot fires off a top, it may need to cool off. And I'm not saying the run's over. I'm just saying it's you've seen this stuff, right, where we move up and out, right? You can see some chaos. And this is bothering me a little bit, right? This is our machine learning reversion bands. We're not in the machine learning version. We're only in the base bands right now, the green ones. This is a little messy. Let me go over to KuCoin because I don't have anything normally written on KuCoin. So you can see on KuCoin on the 4-hour, we kind of hit this and pulled out of it, hit it, pulled out of it. We're now hitting it again. So we're starting to get into the reversion band. So, and as you can notice, we're holding pinks and purples. Let me make sure that we're defaulted here on inputs. Yes, we are. A lot of people got liquidated today. A lot of bears died. And the bulls are showing serious strength. But the problem is we want to talk about trajectory. We want bulls to print greens and blues and purples and keep working this bad boy up, get all these reversion bands to curve up, and we can walk this baby way up. Now, if these bulls sit here and just go straight up on trajectory, it's going to be a blow off top, and we're going to come back down and have some pain, and then the bears are going to get their food. You can only go so fast before a bear will step in and slap you down. That's just the rules. This stuff's pretty hot. We came up and kissed it here, and now we're walking up into it. You can see we had a pink here, but the colors rotated down. But these are still pretty damn hot colors, guys. So we got to do what we got to do. We aren't parabolic up only yet. We're starting to get some feels of that, but we're not there, right? So we got to be careful. Because the last thing I want, you don't want to sit here and start leveraging. You don't hot colors like pink and purple in the reversion bands. This is where I normally sell. This is where I get out and walk away because I'm expecting a reversion to the other side of this reversion band, right? So I'm really careful of that. But I want to see some stuff chill out, keep grinding north. We'll see. The banking sector's not doing good right now. And it just, that's the truth, right? Something like 200 banks signaled today that they are in dire straits of risk and could be to potentially be going down and are going to need FDIC support. So this week, or the past 2 weeks, where are you guys going to go? I personally think that the public is getting a, realizing the emperor's wearing no clothes, realizing that these centralized banks are not what they appear to be, realize that they are forcing inflation down our throats, realizing that we're not really safe. We might be safe if we're at an FDIC perfect insurance thing, but even there, the FDIC, their insurance stuff is over. They're not one-to-one backed. So if there's a bank run on the FDIC, they can get pinched and then they just have to print, and we're going to have serious issues. So maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is really people saying, F this, I believe in Satoshi, and this is the way, right? Maybe that's it. And maybe that's where we're going. I don't know. Frankly, for the past 2 years or year and a half, whatever, when the S&P falls, Bitcoin falls, and right now it's not. The banks are falling, the S&P's falling, stocks are falling, all this stuff is going to hell. Bitcoin's running up. I'm not going to say the word decoupling because that'll ruin the run, but you know what I'm saying here. Maybe Satoshi's vision and a lot of Michael Saylor's vision where Bitcoin is either has a duality. It's either going to go to zero or it's going to go to infinity. And what that implies is give it enough time, Bitcoin will destroy the financial institutions. It is the best product, and the other stuff will fail. And right now we're seeing we had the second largest bank failure in the United States history last week. We had multiple Credit Suisse, the Swiss had a huge bank go down. We've got 200 banks that are in dire straits, and the feds are having to print money to keep this stuff afloat. And that's what's really interesting. Here it is. I wanted to show this. So I wasn't wanting to talk about all this right now, but let's go, guys. So yeah, Wall Street Journal reported today. Yesterday it was 186 banks. Now it's 200 banks. at risk of bankruptcy. 200. You cannot imagine the amount of money the Fed has to print to support this. And guess what? Guess what? We can see it in the data. The Feds did print. So the whole thing that Jerome's been trying to do for a year, increase rates, offload his balance sheet, contract their budgets, all that stuff, they printed $300 billion last week to support this bank bailout that they're doing, which is quote unquote not exactly a bailout, but it really is at the end of the day. And now we are in the exact same position we were in November of last year as far as balance sheets. So what on earth happens at the next FOMC? Buckle up, popcorn ready. It's going to be really interesting because if they're printing at the same time that they keep increasing rates, dude, like unprecedented territory. It's going to get crazy. Like Dow Jones, S&P, all that stuff's going to go crazy during that meeting. So stay tuned for it, right? We've got to see what happens. It's just really going to get interesting. And I'm going to get back to the crypto charts, but this is really, since we're already talking about the bank stuff, the reason this is still kind of going down a contagion is the Feds have not signaled what banks are safe and which ones aren't. So a lot of the smaller banks are getting run on, and that's why they're saying there's 200 banks in trouble. Everyone's trying to go to the big boys like J.P. Morgan, where it's a safer haven for their assets, because the Fed saved 4 banks right now, and the banks are gone, but they saved the depositors. A lot of these companies had more than $250,000 invested, and that money should have been gone. They should have lost it all from those banks going down, but the Fed stepped in and saved it, but they didn't say if they would save everybody. And there was an amazing video posted this week, and I want to share it, and I'm not going to say anything. We're just going to watch this together because we got time. It's 4 minutes long, so bear with me. And it's really interesting because it's really scaring me how incompetent they sound. So let me full screen, HD, and I'm going to mute my mic.
Start with some of the banking issues we're dealing with on it. Will the deposits in every community bank in Oklahoma, regardless of their size, be fully insured now? Are they fully recovered? Every bank, every community bank in Oklahoma, regardless of the size of the deposit, will they get the same treatment that SVBP just got or Signature Bank just got?
A bank only gets that treatment if a majority of the FDIC board, a supermajority of the Fed board, and I, in consultation with the president, determine that the failure to protect uninsured depositors would create systemic risk and significant economic and financial consequences.
So to summarize that, if the board of directors, as well as Yellen, as well as the president, don't like your bank, don't agree, all those people can go bankrupt, and that's it. You have to be buddies with them. If you're not, you're screwed. So that's why people are running to J.P. Morgan.
What is your plan?
Make that determination.
Right. So what is your plan to keep large depositors from moving their funds out of community banks into the big banks? We have seen the mergers of banks over the past decade. I'm concerned you're about to accelerate that by encouraging anyone who has a large deposit in a community bank to say, we're not going to make you whole, but if you go to one of our preferred banks, we will make you whole at that point.
Look, I mean, that's certainly not something that we're encouraging.
That is happening right now.
That is happening because depositors are concerned about the bank failures that have happened and whether or not other banks could also
No,
fail.
it's happening
And
because you're fully insured no matter what the amount is. If you're in a big bank, you're not fully insured if you're in a community bank.
Well, you're not fully insured. And
you were at Signature, and it just barely met that threshold. You were at Signature.
Well, we felt that there was a serious risk of contagion that could have brought down and triggered runs on many banks. And that's something, given that our judgment is that the banking system overall is safe and sound, depositors should have confidence in the system, and we took these actions.
So there's a
to
special
discourage
assessment that's been done
contagion.
on community banks in my state and all banks across the country. Was there any discussion that that special assessment would only apply to the larger banks, or was it always assumed the special assessment would cover every bank, including rural banks in my state?
I think I'm not certain what the rules are around that. That's for the FDIC to determine.
It has been reported publicly that SVB had a large number of Chinese investors that are there, including some that were companies directly connected to the Chinese Communist Party. Will those individuals, companies, entities, and investors that are Chinese investors be made whole based on assessments in my banks in Oklahoma? So what I'm asking is, will my banks in Oklahoma pay a special assessment to be able to make Chinese investors whole from Silicon Valley Bank?
Uninsured investors will be made whole in that bank, and I suppose that could include foreign depositors, but I don't believe there's any legal basis to discriminate among uninsured.
I get it, but I'm
depositors.
just saying my community banks are going to pay this additional fee. It is always fascinating to me as well, the conversation that taxpayers are being made whole in this. The taxpayers are not going to have any kind of consequence on this. I'm sure my bankers are going to be very excited to know they no longer pay taxes.
I don't know who Langford is, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. So anyway, it's a cool clip, unfortunate clip or sad clip, however you want to put it. But it is what it is, and it's really quite scary. And frankly, the contagion that she was worried about trying to prevent, it's already happened worldwide this week. A lot of banks went down. So is what it is. And now we're going to hop over to Ethereum. So this is something I normally don't see on coins, except usually smaller caps. But I call this kind of like a shockwave or a reverb. I don't know what you call it. This is a ton of volume coming into Ethereum, and that's what this is indicating. And you've got to ask yourself, why? Why is Ethereum getting hit so hard? Why is Ethereum doing so well? And I can tell you, Vitalik was spotted this week on a date. And a lot of people think this is bearish. This is actually bullish. Very, very bullish. We may not get Ethereum 3.0, but our boy Vitalik is out there dating in the middle of all this chaos. So shout out to our boy Vitalik, proof of stake king. That's why we're pumping right now. Truth is Ethereum is very, very more volatile than Bitcoin, and it also has the upgrade to liquid staking coming up. That's really the truth of it. But it's kind of the same chart as Ethereum or as Bitcoin. We got the same H4 print, tons of volume coming in. It's looking good, looking strong, and we actually hit our 5th TP level. So now I got another one way back up here that's would be our 6th. But we haven't hit that one yet, but we've hit 5 of them so far. The initial entries I think we had for the spot stuff was back at like 1150, 1100 or so. And we took a lot of profit here. Then we've sit there and banged out 2 more additional TP levels. And right now, she's rolling. And there's a big gap up here because this is basically the 2000. This is the $2,000 order block. We got a ways to go. 1800 to 2000 is a pretty good run. So we'll see if she goes. She's already coming in kind of hot, but is what it is. So H4s right now on the runner bot on Bitcoin and Ethereum are dead on. They're doing great. So just pay attention, because sometimes you need to look at the H2s or the H6s. H4 right now is really, really good. So just keep that in mind if you're running that tool. And we're going hard, and we're going. So we're going to see what happens until this thing goes. And that kind of reminds me, I need to pull up a screenshot. Alerts. Yeah. Let me pull up this thing. Because everyone and their sisters is talking about, where's Bitcoin going to go? What's your projection? And I wanted to cover this in specific because anybody who's telling you like a dollar amount of like, oh, this is where we're going, this is how high Bitcoin's going to go, etc. It's you might as well call up a fortune teller. Like, it's pointless to call out a number. Like, hey, Bitcoin's going to go exactly to $68,000 on this moon phase when Mars is in retrograde, whatever that means. No, the truth is Bitcoin has to move up. And there is going to be sellers all the way up to $69,000 that are trapped. And until you wipe out every single trapped bear, we're not in price discovery mode. So this is... I took the time to mark this up, and I actually pinned it in the Discord, so there's a copy there, and I posted on Twitter if you want to say that this is going to be our roadmap, and this is what we're going to do for probably the rest of this year, maybe get into next year. We don't know yet. This is what we have to do, and this is where the battles are going to take place. Now, with Rainbow Trends and like Rainbow Theory, I can't tell you who's going to win. If I get really, really specific colors, I can usually tell you who's going to win on the battleground, but you don't always know who's going to win the war, right? But this is where the battles are going to take place. And right now, we're getting into this one. This is the one it goes up to about $28,000. And there's been a lot of people talking about $28,000 on Twitter. There's a lot of justification there, but what these bots are telling us with all of these pivots, these are our order blocks, and this is where the bulls will meet angry, angry, angry bears. And the bulls are going to have to liquidate every single one of them and get them out of their positions to move forward. So it's not so much that we're going to call where we're going to hit. We're going to sit there and observe, and we're going to know exactly where this stuff is going to go down, where these people are going to fight it out. And we're going to watch what happens, right? We don't want to sit here and say, hey, it's going to go to $62,000, and then we watch an all-out war at $47,000 and ignore it. That's not what we're going to do. We are going to pay close attention to this. And I realize you guys can't see. There's the numbers. We want to pay close attention to what happens, because we very well may come up to like 40, 50K and then sweep back down and do the 30s again and then go into the halvening and then go back up to 100K. Like, that could be a play there. We damn sure don't want entries in the 15,000s, 25,000s, go all the way to 50 and then have it retrace 100% back and then we lose it all. So we got to be really cognizant of the ladder we're playing about. And this is going to be really, really high time frame cheat sheet. This is where stuff is gonna see fireworks and see stuff throw down. And it looks like the whole map is this, but I can assure you these are big gaps between these, and we're gonna work our way through them. So that's our plan for the rest of the year. And I wish everyone the best. And it's just, don't just hodl and think that everything's going to be perfectly fine and you're going to get your limit order, one limit order at 100% sell at the exact penny you want. If this thing goes and blows out and does like a 2017 8 pure vertical run, we're cutting. Like, we're cutting, and we're going to reassess the situation, right? We just got to play it level by level. And frankly, this walk up to here was nuts. This was insane, and we chewed up a ton of bears to get to that print and then died, right? We're starting down from $15,000 and we're going to have to work all the way up. And there, you wouldn't believe it, but like, there are people that bought at 60K and haven't sold yet. They're on spot. And they want out. And you are going to have to eat through every single one of them before we get to new all-time highs. It's just how this equation works, how the markets are going to work. That's what we have to do if you want to talk all-time highs again, right? That's the thing. If you don't want to care about all-time highs, let's zoom in and let's trade shop. And we don't really care if this thing's going to 0 or 100K in years from now. Like, we don't care. We're just going to trade movements, and that's all you need, right? But if we're talking long-term, that's the cheat sheet. That's what we're going to follow. And some people were asking me on Twitter, because I was stating, like, this is going to dictate alts as well. And they're like, how does the Bitcoin chart determine alt rotations? Well, or alt prices? If Bitcoin's still macro going up, we got a bull trend in the altcoins. When Bitcoin goes sideways, we really get alt rotations. You see the large caps get rotated into the mid caps, the low caps, and then it all starts over again, and then Bitcoin starts running again. You get to play those cycles, and those cycles hit along these ways. Because Bitcoin will slam up and then hit resistance and then go sideways, and then you get a little alt season for like a month or so, right? So that's what I mean by that, and that's where we're going to go. So that's the thought, that's the play. We're starting to go on our way up, but man, we've got a long way to go. But hell, we've been in this before. We've been in the muck and we've sent it. So, you know, you're still here. You're still solvent. Alameda's not here. FTX isn't here. Three Arrows Capital's not here. You're here, right? Keep that in mind. Survive. Like, a lot of like the stuff like from Bitcoin Panda Fu, there's some really good lessons learned in there amongst all the joking and stuff. He hates leverage and encourages that people buy spot. Because no one can rip it out of your hands if you buy it spot and you've got it on a ledger and you've got it safe, right? Or in a cold storage, right? Give it enough time. You just buy these dips and work your way up and out. Like, you can get to where you want and not have to like day trade this stuff. 90% of the people sitting messing around with spot will outrun all the others on leverage. So keep that in mind. A lot of people like posting like 100x P&Ls and all this other stuff. It's really cool looking, but long term, a lot of those people struggle doing that for years at a time, if not weeks. So keep that in mind. Boring works long term. So anyway, 1.5 up, FDIC. I'm checking up on stuff. Writing on the wall, a lot of BC naysayers. James Langford, U.S. Senator. James Langford, U.S. Oklahoma, previous U.S. rep. Awesome. I think it's both DCA and volatile. We now have stuff that's worth trading on low time frames, but you're also looking at if this is the beginning of the walk to 70K, right? Like, if we don't come back, and I can't say if that's going to happen or not, but if that's what plays out, these are like our last chances to buy like Bitcoin at a somewhat decent price is where that really goes. So anyway, let me check S&P real quick. This is another one that's really killer on the 4 hour. Yeah. 4 hour tops and the one awesome bottom at like 3,500, 3,600. Runnerbot on H4 has not been wrong in like 2 years. So keep that in mind. That one's really, really good. We're still kind of in the middle here, and the banking sector's falling apart. I still think we're going to get another range test here. And depending on how this plays out, I may be re-entering back into the stock market when we hit this. If it blows through, I'll really start buying up in the low threes. So anyway, let's check oil again, because oil fell off this week. Yikes. It's still falling off. That's going to pull S&P down with it. Let's move over to Tesla. Let's see how our Elon's doing. Wow. We got a bottom print on the H4. That really looks like an early bottom print, though. This run was awesome. I think this was a 100% run. 80% run. But now we're getting a bottom here, but we're not in the reversion band. Let's see where that goes. We will see. But let's take a look at some crypto stuff that you guys were wanting to see, and then I can go into liquidations. Or let me knock out liquidations first, because Doppel specifically asked for this. So we're going to go to the perp chart on Bitcoin. Because you want to, what I found out is the liquidation levels kind of work even if you're looking at spot indices. And that's technically wrong, but the levels are really nice. So, I'm going to leave it to where you guys can see it both ways. So let me switch it over. Let me clean all this up because this is a to get into liquidity theory. It's very cluttered. Let me turn off well prints, pivots, and then let me calm this thing down. So this is liquidations. Let me pull up the sensitivity threshold. I think it was around 50. Yeah. So this was really cool today because there was a really cool post. I watch a lot of the stuff that Byzantine General posts. He's super smart dude. And I hope you guys can see the smaller lines. You may not be able to. Let me switch the colors. Or let me increase the visible opacity. So these are liquidation levels, and what this is I built a liquidity engine inside TradingView that determines the really outlying big bids of bulls and bears, shorts versus longs, and it plots where the liquidation levels are, and it keeps track of who gets liquidated, who wins, etc. And we're beta testing it right now. And it was really interesting today is Byzantine General posted this. He saw $300 million worth of liquidations hit on his tools. So right here on this blip, he saw about $300 million in shorts got completely wiped out and disappeared from the actual contracts, the way he tracks contracts. And it was really interesting is that right there was the liquidity level that got taken out today at like the same time that Byzantine posted his chart that he noticed that those bears died. So it's really interesting is showing, like, let's check this out. That's the actual candle he posted that tweet on, and that's those 300 million getting wiped out. So shout out to ISO, shout out to Byzantine General. That big fat line was $300 million in whales that got liquidated, in theory. So it was really cool to actually see this like play out in real time today. Hoping to have it to you guys in a month or so. It's a really complicated tool, and it's really trying to clean it up and get the visuals really cleaned up. But it's really cool because this is now giving us we will be able to go between pivot order blocks, reversion rainbow bands, and then we're also going to be able to look at liquidation levels off real bids, right? So it's really interesting is like you can see these guys, these bulls will come up, liquidate these bears, and then they walk out, right? Boom, walk out, boom, walk out. And so far right now, they hit this and they're still going. And let me pull... Let me switch over to higher time frame because there is some liquidity above us and it's not showing it right now. Let me switch the sensitivity threshold. We'll get it online. Yeah, there it is. So we're walking through this paint, and then these are our next big bear liquidation levels. We have one at 40,000, which that'll be awesome. 34,000, and then we have a smaller one at 32. And you'll notice that these lines are thicker and thinner. The bigger bids with a lot more money on the line are on the thicker lines. So anyway, and that's liquidation theory. How we're going to be, where I've got it right now. This isn't the final build out yet, but this is the cleaner look of what I've got. And you guys will be able to control the colors of it as well. Originally I had it with rainbow colors with show different types of leverages, and it was just way too messy. But pulled back, pulled the colors back, cleaned up the mess, and I think this is really going to be useful, and I think you guys will do some damage with it. But the cool thing is out of all the liquidity engines that are like out on the market that at least I'm aware of, I don't think any of them do high time frame. Most of them are like minute charts, 5-minute charts, stuff like that. This engine is going to actually let us push stuff out to like higher time frames, and is going to allow you to zoom out on like higher levels of liquidity, which I think is very relevant, because if you're only looking at like 1 minute charts, you're only focused here. You're not focused on this other stuff. So I think we're going to release this to the wild and actually see some dudes do some stuff that's like never done before. I'm really excited to see what the users do with it, and see how they break it. Beta testers are still cutting their teeth on it, and I'm still coming back to it and forth. But the math, everything's lining up right now. It completely whooped my butt. 1,000+ lines of code, but she's rolling and she's running. So happy with that. So make sure you clip this. This is 1:11:24. You may think I'm joking. It's so that I can see that during the video editing. Anyway, because when you sit here and have to dig through it, it takes a long time. But anyway, I hope that Doppel, do you have any other questions on that one? Because that's how she's going to be running. But anyway, do you think you can embed alert functions into this tool? Probably not. Probably not. Even if it was possible, I don't think I can with the way it's built, first off. But even if I could, I think it would bog it down to the point of it not running. And frankly, if this tool, if you don't have a premium version of TradingView, it's not going to work on the lower time frames just because of how much math it has to pull. I think you're limited to like 40 seconds of computation time on the premium accounts. And I think the basic accounts are only 20 seconds of computation time. And like if you want to do 5-minute candle data, you won't be able to do it on a cheap on the free accounts. So watch this. It'll sit here and crunch for a long time. But shout out to TradingView, and I apologize for bogging down your servers. This thing was a mess. So yeah, that took like 20-30 seconds. That's pushing it, and that's only 5 minutes. So anyway, just plot your own horizontal and add an alert. Not perfect. Yeah, that's true. The problem is when you do all this stuff, it would take me a really, I don't know how I would even explain it, but that's a programming thing I don't want to get into because I don't even know how to word it in English, to be honest with you. Like these lines don't exist in a technical sense in the code, but they do when you're running it. So it's hard for me to tell the thing to do an alert when it's crossing something that like technically doesn't exist. As a like a permanently defined variable. So anyway, I digress. Liquidation, so we'll turn that off. So Link was the other one. Someone wanted to see that, and I actually do want to check that chart as well. We can take a look because I still think this is accumulation. Out of all the charts, like people want to put like Wyckoff stuff on, this is like the only chart I think Link that I'm aware of, at least on a decent sized cap, is actually pushing it to where you can make that argument. Even like the spring is pretty clean. But if you notice, like Ethereum and Bitcoin are running really, really, really hard. Link's not running yet. Link isn't even at the range high yet. So keep an eye on it, because maybe if Bitcoin does a little cool off, maybe we're about to see all the large caps start playing catch up. And if that's the case, we're going to get some really awesome alt plays, and people are going to be blowing up the Discord with their P&Ls. So it'll be awesome. Anyway. Zootoshi, do you have any connections or relations with CL207? I think there's a Toshi he hangs with. The awesome crypto cat. I just ask. He's not a friend, but he follows me, and we comment occasionally on each other. Nope. Yeah, but he's a cool dude. Oh, I do want to check Ethereum Classic. Yeah, this is the big bark that we traded for a long time. Let me get the indicators back to normal. Reset settings. Way too many pivots. Or wheel prints. There we go. Calm that down. Ethereum Classic. A lot of these things, I think, like, let's check out Zcash. Zcash is one that I'm I've been watching because it's been acting very unique all of a sudden. And also, shout out Barry Silbert's back online. He retweeted something and then deleted it, but he is kind of back online, so that's kind of interesting. So when we were on the 1 hour on this, we had, I'll be damned, it did play out. You can see it on Twitter. I posted it and I said, hey, we got a channel walker that broke. And when channel walkers break, they normally retrace like 60% normally. This thing hit a wall and started getting picked up. And when you see chatter like that, to me, that's a whale building a position. And I even posted it. It's like, hey, this is what a whale building a position looks like. Watch out. Lo and behold, now we're up. Nope, that's fib retrace. We are now up 11%, which isn't a lot for Zcash, but pay attention because you don't see tight bound chunks like that without someone in control. You see wonky stuff. This is really, really tight, and it's just sitting there going nibbling at it like a VWAP or a TWAP. Time weighted average price bids, whatever. So we may be getting to see that someone built the damn bag here and she's about to go. And you can hate Zcash all you want. She got a lot of room to move, right? I would love to buy some stuff at 30 and get to 100, do a 3x. I would love that. Maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't, but maybe we won't ever get to the all-time high of like 370, but maybe they're building a bag, so keep that in mind. So Fizan asks, what about BTC dominance? Won't alts lag back if dominance keeps going up? Yes. That's where we get to what I refer to as bow to the king. And when it is time, what is the dominance? There it is. So essentially when Bitcoin decides to run and really, really run, the alts get out of the way. They always get out of the way, and they bow to the king, and then eventually the king will go sideways. And when he goes sideways, that's normally when you see Ethereum and Litecoin get slammed. And then once Ethereum completes its run, then all your like other top 100 coins get hit, and then it's just you look for what gets hit after that, just random top 500,000, top 1,000 coins, stuff like that. I haven't looked at this in a while, but there's actually really clear pivot order blocks here if your spidey senses are tingling, and we're coming up to the top of the range again, 47 to 48. So let's set an alert here. That way we can be a lazy trader. Add alert, 49 Bitcoin breakout. And shout out to Tom Crown. We can say sunglasses on. Let's go. And now we have an alert here. If this gets crossed, I get an email, and I'll remember that, hey, something big's happening. So you don't have to check this stuff all the time. Use the alerts in TradingView to like help you out and be lazy. Don't watch screens all day. But yeah, you're right, and that's where you're gonna get to see the alt cycles. And give me a second, let me find it. The king of this is Secrets of Crypto. So if you don't know who this is, go follow him. I will put his tag in the chat. That is an OG of crypto. And he's got some of the best documentation on market cycles I've ever seen. And this is the main one you need to study. And there's a lot of other ones that he posts. And he doesn't post a lot, but this is talking about Bitcoin dominance and how it plays through. And how like the phase one is Bitcoin, aka bow to the king. Then everything runs to Ethereum. Then it goes to large caps. Then it goes into alt season. And then it starts all over again. And this is the circle of life. But definitely go check him out. Follow him. Just go click media. And it'll be like the first thing post up. But study this. I won't go into too much detail. But that's what equivalents to this. This is your chart in relationship to this diagram. Hope that makes sense. Speaking of that, FBTC, we can look at that. I don't really do BTC pairs, but people ask me, and this is really the F kind of horizontal flag that I kind of see. It's not the cleanest thing, but there's definitely a resistance up here. Block, and then some type of supports. And we've got a double support here that it's wicked. If we're lucky and actually start an F1, that's what she's going to look like. So we'll see. Just like Litecoin, see how Litecoin's doing. I like Litecoin as an indicator. I don't trade it too much because I don't like the Litecoin whales. They're very slow. Albeit if Litecoin ever prints purples and pinks, or I'm sorry, whites and stuff, this is normally free money. So keep that in mind. Let me turn the log back on. Because we did have a channel walk and she fully popped out. Let's check the retrace on that just so that we keep our sanity. And when I tell people 60% retraces are normal, 40. Albeit a 60 would have been below the base, but you get the idea. This is why when I say channel walkers are broken, you walk away. You made a lot of money trading this, and you want to keep trading this when it goes sideways. Walk away. When you make bank and the plan changes, walk away, go find something else, come back to it. Because sometimes this stuff goes for months, and it just keeps going and you don't want to do that. So, as you can clearly see, with all this trash that I'm drawing and making up terms, I don't know what the official term is. I refer to them as channel walks. If you got a cooler name, let me know. We can rename it. But for Rainbow Theory Talks, I call this channel walks. And this is when whales are in complete control of moving in and out. And then they distribute and it falls off a cliff. But we got whites here. She bounced. You could have got a Litecoin scalp in here for 30%, which is a lot for Litecoin. Litecoin doesn't like moving that much. We could double check Sol. Sol had a big rollover at the top. Oh, yep. Yeah. So this is our Sol chart. This is the king order block at the top. Crazy run from there all the way back up to here, which was through 200%. But we slammed our heads on resistance multiple times, and we did weaker colors through that whole run. We took another stab at it, and we couldn't get through those stacked, like, triple pivots right there, and it's just been bad since. So, walk away. Walk away. Set your alerts up here. If we do break out, maybe go haul back into it. But until then, you've got to realize we've got a lot of altitude below us. The last thing you want to do is try to long this and have it come back and retest and then go. That's probably 60-80% loss. So definitely don't do that. Crip Walk, I do like that one. That one will work. Even though most of the rappers I like are Bloods. But that's another story. And SoundCloud rappers, so we'll go with that. If they have face tattoos, we're talking, right? Soul it reclaimed the pivot. Yeah. It's such a big deviation, Doppel. And you said you were leaving. Otherwise, I would have invited you on the chat, on the stream. Oh, let's check. Someone wanted... Was it Kava? No, Gala. Gala is USDT. That's the rare reverse channel walk. I think I've only seen 2 of these before. It's a channel walk in the wrong direction. Let me fix this. Just disclaimer, I can't draw these pivots all the way across the stream because it will crash PineScript. So they are drawn to their max. Oh. She's coming back up to this big fat order block. That's the reality of it. When it's coming in hot, these are already pinks, and it's taking a second stab. If it does not get above, if it doesn't break 5 cents, we've got real big problems, and she's likely going to pull back down and try to find some other base support. She's already done the crazy giant run. She's already done a 300% run, right? And now she's falling out, and she's bleeding out. Bags were packed to send at 300. We don't know if the bags are packed anymore, so that's the truth. So, anyway, it's the same aversion recovery. I'm not familiar with that, but I don't doubt you. Let's see, Doge. Wow. This was the same thing with Doge. We wedged up, had a run. We were calling for this level, and this level. These were our 3 targets, right? And we only got the first one, unfortunately. And then she fully bled out. That's a really scary deviation. You could maybe call it a spring, but hell, I wouldn't call this Wyckoff in any sense. There's no way with that run. But she wicked this pivot to a T. And we got to see if it'll get through the 0.0788. But I don't think dog coins are the way right now, unless Elon starts doing some crazy stuff. But even then, if Elon starts doing crazy stuff, you're not going to see it on TA. It's going to be news-driven pump with the bots eating up the news as it runs through Twitter. Now, the other thing I did see this week is allegedly Justin Suntron's in trouble with the law of China. I'm not really sure. Saw some pictures of allegedly of his passports and stuff like that, and I don't really know. But all that correlated to this giant dump of a lot of the Suntron coins, and something's maybe up there. So be careful. Don't know what on earth any of that's about. I don't trade Tron. I don't really deal with Tron much. Maybe it's the greatest coin ever. I don't know. I just don't play with it much. So anyway, here we go. Bally, when do my alt bags rip, sir? I bought that runner. Haha. White pivot, high time frame, 6.9 for Doge. Oh, you bought that pivot. Which one did you buy? Wow, you did buy that, the 69. That's awesome. That is really awesome. Yeah, because here's your order block. And you caught it right there. Now that's the thing is, if you caught that and you can protect it, maybe we eventually get another damn run, but you just got to be careful. But you got it so close to this bottom, and this deviation held. Man, maybe we don't go back into this red, and you're that's one of those ones you could just stop loss at break even and let it ride. But it's so hard to tell. Like Ethereum is hauling right now. Doge isn't doing a damn thing. But neither is like Zcash or Litecoin, so it's like really weird. So maybe we've got to wait for that alt rotation, or maybe we got to wait till next week. But like here, check out Neo. Neo's pumping. But I don't know. Let me see. Uniswap's another one. Well, if we're talking meme tokens, let's take a look at Ape. Yeah, Ape's a channel walk that failed as well. Dipped into liquidity and popped. Core 0x. We can check CRV. Is CRV related to that big airdrop that everyone's been talking about today? Arbitrum or whatever? Saw a bunch of size chat stuff. This looks so much like that. And also realize CRV is a Tetranode coin. Tetranode coins act weird just by default. How much he really owns of them, I don't really know. But that dude dumps. So I've never made much money on Tetranode coins other than Ethereum. But he's not going to move the price of Ethereum. I don't really have clear levels on this, just eyeing it. I don't trade it a lot. I know Kuji does, or used to, back in the old bull runs. Kuji used to. Let me go to a higher time frame and see if something shows up. No. I mean, you could argue this is that downtrend has popped. It's just not, it's just not screaming clear to me. Maybe I'm missing something, but yeah. Anyway. OP. Everyone's talking about this one as well. Kuji as well is talking about this one. If you don't know who Kuji is, he's a Aussie bro who hangs with 9K's group. He's really smart. Yeah, this looks a lot like a shakeout before a breakout. Not to sound corny, but that's what this stuff really does. I sometimes refer to these as schnauzer profiles, but it's a really dumb word. It's just the only thing I could think of. If you see a schnauzer side profile, their whiskers go down like that, then it pops. But anyway, send these alts to the moon. Rip the bears. I agree. I don't think EXO. I can't hang with EXO. That dude's on another level. Low time frame like masters. I'm mainly an H4 guy and H1 when it's in capitulation. XRP was the other one people wanted to talk about. And I want to check GBTC. Yes, this is clearly you have a trend that's going down with some little deviations of wicks, but this is really indication. You remember they're fighting Gensler right now. XRP is fighting the SEC about whether or not they are securities. So we'll see. SZ's faded a lot of people. CoinMamba is still the champ. Why the hell does CZ beef with people? Like, I got a Fortune magazine on my desk with CZ's face on it. He's gonna go mess with internet celebrities, Twitter celebrities. It's stupid. Like, Barry Silbert doesn't care about any of those people, but like CZ does greatly. So we'll see. Holy shit. GBTC is through the roof. Wow. I swear if Silbert pulls this off and they get the Grayscale spot ETF while the banks are dying off left and right, Silbert will be the GOAT. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's Barry Silbert. He's one of the former, if not still one of the CEOs or something at Grayscale. Either way, that's my boy. Let's check out MicroStrategy's, because what's Sailor's level at now? What does his DCA cost? Super nice retest of the pivot, by the way. That one as well, with a ton of RSI prints. And then one there with a bull print. Yeah, if MicroStrategy moves back up and out, that'd be sweet. If Grayscale survives and beats the SEC and gets their appeal case won, that'll be really awesome. From what I've heard, the appeals case they had, their oral arguments, apparently Grayscale just mopped the floor with them. And that's why the GBTC pumped, was simply over the oral arguments. Like, this was the oral arguments, this run here. So, not Bitcoin price, this was oral arguments in a court case. So that's why he's like, you gotta be careful with TA, because someone will say, hey, like, there's a wedge here, you need to pay attention. No, it's the lawyers were talking to, like, Supreme Court level people, and, or not Supreme Court, but appellate court. And shit went down, so keep that in mind. Mission Gains, thank you for the follow. If you're new here, you got to tell me what coin you want us to look at. Near USD? Yeah, we can take a look at Near, then SNX. And then Mission Gains got to give us his list. If you're new here, that's our info, why these charts look so wild. We actually trade rainbows and whales and unicorns. Not Luna, Luna C. Let's check it out. SNX. I haven't looked at this one, so this will be new. Oh. So let me just drop these blocks, because these order blocks back here matter. Whether you agree or disagree, they do. I learned that from 9K years ago. He called a Bitcoin Cash top within pennies, and I didn't know 9K at the time. I was like, how in the hell did you call that top? And he was like, it's the order blocks. And I sat there and studied the chart, because I didn't want to just ask him the question again or like explain it. I went and studied it, and the dollar amount he sold at was like a pivot block from like 2 years ago on the charts. I go, how? I was like, did you really use an order block from 2 years ago? And he goes, yeah, the whales still respect it. I was like, I'll be damned. This is same thing. It's in the middle of the range. So I do not like playing here. So I'd be wanting to see if it can get through this master order block here and get above it. So I would set an alert at like 380. Because this thing's really like, in your mind you can say that you can do tight stops, but this will get you. It just will, unfortunately. It's what it's designed to do. It's designed to liquidate bulls and bears and then walk wherever they want to go. So we'll check out Luna C. I don't want anything to do with Luna, but we'll take a look. Yeah, no one wants anything to do with Luna. With that being said, that is a bottom pivot with a spring with an awesome retest to the penny. So that's really cool. Fundamentally, I think Luna's got issues, as well as maybe some bad press that may not be resolved. But you're looking at a potential Pico snipe of like a Pico bottom there. So if you really think Luna C or whatever can make it, that's not a bad place to try to get in. It's really not. It's just you saw what happened to the other Luna chart. This thing, even if you think this thing's only gone 90% and you think there's only 10%, that's wrong. It could still go down 100%. So you've got to be really, really, really careful. So it's just how it goes. So next, and I forgot, did we look at near? I'm sorry. No, I don't think we did. Did we? Appreciate it, but I was saying don't ask. Oh, sorry, don't ask for Lindsay. I'll look at anything. To me, I don't care. It's just colors and whales to me. I just like consistent whale. Like I trade Zcash. Like Zcash is like ridicule like you wouldn't believe, but it paints such pretty pictures. You know. Near looks interesting with this. This is really drawing my eyes. It dipped into this liquidity of this order block and then it popped right back out, and now it's tagging these two double pivots here. So you'd want to see it move above. I mean, obviously you want to see it move above, but you can see this order block is the king of the castle. And she hit it there, hit it there, hit it there, wicked into it, hit it there, and failed. So really, if you want to play it safe, wait till she gets above 289, and then you're talking about contesting these higher order blocks. It's really where you get to talk about it. So, Jasmine, is this Playmaker's alt account fizzing? Playmaker's the only one ever to ask about Jasmine. So if you're not familiar with Jasmine, this thing has been bleeding since it's been on the chain. Maybe it's a great coin with a lot of tech. I just know this thing bleeds. And it's bled 99.24% so far to date. So, in your eyes, you're going to say there's only 1% left-ish that we can go down. That's where you're wrong. Wherever you are, there is always 100% left in the tanks. And there is 0. You can always go down 100%. No matter if something's retraced 99, if you enter when it's already retraced 99% and it drops 1%, you lose it all. So be careful. With that being said, I just don't want, a lot of people think, oh, it's dropped 90%, I'm safe. Don't ever think you're safe. That's like rule number 1. That's what whales eat up. Frankly, it's been bleeding. And what you want to see is some sign of life where it can at least hang going sideways. That's what you want to see. We don't have that yet. Look here. It popped and then it kept bleeding, right? This was some sideways and then she died, right? We want to see some sideways and then some up. We haven't seen that yet. So I'd be really, really careful. This thing is hot. This thing is playing with fire. Unless you're like really into shorting, you're not at an advantage to long this, because you got to realize, like, take the easy trade, right? Jasmy's going down. Ethereum's going up. If I want to long something, I want to long something that's showing strength. This is not showing strength at all yet. This is showing like dead cat bounce. So keep that in mind. KuCoin. Jasmine. USDT. KuCoin. Yeah, not much, but yeah. Now, if it can hold above whatever 0.0082, sure. There's like 3 pivots stacked there. If you could get a retest on that, maybe pay attention. But otherwise, you want to see some sideways, then some up. It's really what you really want to look at. Bittrex. You guys really want to look at every Jasmine chart today. Is it USD for Bittrex? Wick City, low liquidity on Bittrex. Yeah, still not loving it. Ajax, which I don't know this one. Never heard of it. No data on Binance. Let's look at KuCoin. Okay, now I see why you're interested. Yeah, this kind of actually looks like the Cake chart back when Cake first launched on Binance. So check this out. We'll come back to this, but check this out. So when Cake first came out on Binance, it's going to look messy, so just bear with me. Cake went from like 20 bucks or whatever up here all the way down to $8, popped back up, and then it made this real nice belly, right? This is what you focus on. Nice belly. And then she ended up going on a giant run all the way up to like $44. So just keep that mental image. Looks kind of familiar, doesn't it? Now this is much slower time frames, right? These are much bigger moves, but that's kind of what I see. And I may be wrong, but if you can sit there and look at that order block, you may get something that's in price discovery. I don't know what size coin this is. We can go check though. So we can go to CoinMarketCap, type in AGIX, SingularityNet. It's a 72 token? Wow. It's in the top 100. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if this was a top 2,000 coin, because then it really can get into price discovery. But 72 is going to hold you down a little bit. Like if you were to go into top 10 market cap right now, Solana is 8.7 million and Ajax is that's billion, sorry. Where's the market cap? $700 million, and it can get to 8 billion. So 800. Yeah, it's got a ways. It could, but yeah, 12x. 12x is sick though. Maybe. This looks nice though. Like, I do like the belly. I will say that. And if it can sit there and go chuck, 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 and then pop, hop on, and then good luck trying to figure out where the top is at. I don't know. Anyway. We did Bitcoin in the beginning, so when the video uploads A little bit of archive on Twitch. You can sit there and grab it on there. Wind Moon. It's nighttime, bro. 4-hour prints on APT. Yeah, we can take a look at APT, Molly. Harmony. We just did Harmony, guys. Credify. What is the ticker for Credify? Let me reset my prints, Molly. Because I detuned them earlier. Yep. That's awesome. What Mally's referring to is this. They're pop, 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 trying to defend it, and you can see where the bears tried to push it down, and these guys said, and now she's moving back up. So maybe APT's flip the coin. But when stuff's run that parabolic, I get kind of scared of it. It's not my cup of tea, but it is breaking up, kind of a retest. That being said, though, if she gets this, you're talking about, that's a lot of percentage. That's actually 47% if you got that edge to edge there. But if we get above this, you're talking price discovery again, right? And that's where it's an easy ride. So yeah, or buy the top, sell the bottom. That's what we're here for, right? Credi. I've never heard of this. It's on cocaine only. Yikes. So this is a low liquidity. Wow, there's a lot of wicks here. This looks like bread back in the day, BRD coin. So if you don't know why I'm saying wow, it's all these wicks. See how none of these are candles, they're just wicks? There's a really ungodly whale there's a whale too big for this playground of this liquidity, and he's slamming market bids, and it's just sitting there wicking all around. Super violent. That's a 200% wick? What in the F? There's got to be no liquidity on the exchange to do that. That's 175% 4-hour wick. I mean, if you could learn to hang with this dude on low time frames, you could maybe do some damage. But even this is 40% swings. What the hell what is this thing? So the top 3,000 coin. That's why you can only trade $1,000 essentially on this. So that's not really a big whale. That's someone like throwing like 10, 20 grand around maybe. So that's going to be an issue. TV to the bottom, that's rocket movie. Man, Kadon? I don't know these coins. KDON. I sound like a boomer. Donkey. I absolutely love donkeys in real life, so that's kind of cool. What is Kadon? It's not even on CoinMarketCap, so I don't know. Doesn't look like a bottom's printed yet, but it's really wicky. Low liquidity. This stuff's really playing with fire, because like, God help you, if you try to market bid the wrong time, you can get destroyed. They'll run you up. So yeah, we could check out AXS. That actually has liquidity. I mean, if you're messing around with like a few $100, sure, but like if you want to put like 50 grand on that coin, you're not going to be able to do it. You will move price and it will hurt you. I have no idea what's going on here. $4 to $19 in 8 hours. That is the Darth Maul of all Darth Mauls. Switch this to daily. Yikes. Yeah, so AXS is maybe. No. She's bled out pretty bad. So if we could reclaim this key pivot block here at 11:30, 11:20, basically this double pivot here, see the 2, that's where I would get really interested. So I'll add an alert. AXS reclaim. AXS. Yeah, we can check GRT. It's not screaming to me like Ethereum, but it has performed a retest here, a pretty hot retest. And now she's coming back up to take on this pivot order block. It'd be the same thing as wait for it to reclaim that order block and actually show you she's got the stones to get through it. And if she can, you know, you're going to be moving all the way up to at least 30 cents just before you hit real contention. Maybe that 22. No, that's that wick. This is why those old pivots matter. Check this out. Horizontal ray. Pop. So we continued that pivot all the way over from that wick. Aren't whales funny? See how that wick tagged there and it bounced off like to the penny? It's really weird how that stuff works, but it works all the time, over and over and over and over and over. Hot cross. You guys are looking for some projects. That's all I could say. I've never heard of these. Not like the past 5 coins, like other than like AXS, but top 1600 coin. What's the depth on it? So yeah, you can't get a lot of money like on KuCoin. You can do $1,500 and it's going to move price 2% ish. But this is just straight bleeding. I wouldn't touch it. If you're looking into shorts, maybe that's something to look for, but she's so wicky, you're not going to be able to do any type of leverage. But you got to realize this could be $5,000 that did that. Like, there's not a lot of liquidity here, so you're gonna have a really hard time with it. I know Mask. No problem, dude. I always want the privacy coin run because that brings me Zcash on a run. Yeah, so that is what's messing with the whales right now. That order block from April. And then this print here. So there's 2 pivots to pay attention to. And then we can sneak these in. And then there's a block here. Yeah. So same thing as the other ones. She's coming in hot, right? And she hasn't broken through yet. Albeit you could argue this is like higher lows, right? And this actually tagged pivots and showed support. This kind of tagged nowhere and made it up. But I would wait to see it break through 638, or what is this, 650? Yeah, wait till it breaks above 650. And if you're really anxious, wait for it to break up, retest, and then go. And then you can snipe that retest and put a really, really tight stop loss. So that's what I would like check out for. But it's actually moving a lot. I mean, this is that's a 500% move. And what is the market cap on it today? It used to be a pretty big coin in 2021, wasn't it? Top 90, yeah. Be sweet. Is it on any of the big exchanges? It's on Binance. Oh yeah. So now this is what I was talking about. Like, this has liquidity. Like, you could throw 50K at Mask and you're not really going to move the price, right? So throw it on Kraken, you're going to throw stuff around, but like Binance can handle it. So keep that in mind. Magic? I don't have a lot of data for it. I usually like at least a year of data. This must be like a newer coin. Does it have a older... Is it a DeFi one? Magic WETH, Uniswap. Yeah, there's the Uniswap. Yeah, that one's so early in its infancy. You're going to have to do fundamental analysis, not like TA. That is right. Coinbase does have Mask. But Coinbase has also got some really weird low caps for no damn reason. And they still don't have Neo, and they don't have Theta. Theta was a top 10 coin at one point that was not on Binance. That's interesting. Amp's pretty big. Top 200. And does it have liquidity? Ish. Not as much as Mask, but you're not going to be able to do six-figure trades with this. Well, pretty much at all, but what scares me about this is this triple pivot got no respect. Not to sound like Rodney Dangerfield, but it sliced right through it, and it didn't even bounce or anything. So I'd be a little scared there, because that means the Bears really were rocking and rolling, and the Bulls didn't give much care. Nice way to say it. But you are double testing on this, so maybe, but you could argue it's a trend line. It's not screaming out to me like strength, but you could maybe pull something off with the 2 hour on AMP. Sorry, I did not get any sleep last night. That's such a beautiful curve. Parabolic top, sell your pinks, walk away. What was that run? That was 70 to 90. Yeah, it just depends what exchange you're on too. These lower caps are so erratic. You just don't know. The real wiki stuff can print more pivots. So anyway, let me look at Coinbase real quick, because I do want to check something on Coinbase and see what they have anything running. Yeah, Mask is the number one running thing on like Coinbase right now. Maker, is that doing any good anymore? No. Check out that pivot. The double pivot held 3 times. That's the king pivot. 975. Anyway, guys, I am fading pretty bad. My wife's a bit sick right now with a stomach bug. Thank you for stopping by. This has been a good stream. A lot of new people showing up, a lot of new faces. Definitely come back and hang out with us. I can't say who it is, but I do have a very special guest lining up sometime next week. I will have an official announcement on that one and not do a random just drop it and not tell anybody when it's going to happen. So anyway, but yeah, if you're curious about us, check us out at rainbow-trends.com. You can join our community there. You can sign up for the free tools. You can sign up for the premium tools. But with all that being said, I do want to do a little bit of a raid if you guys want to have some fun, because we got a few people in here tonight. So let me pull up Twitch and see if we have any young people doing something with crypto, or if not, we can do marbles. But if we got anybody doing like nothing, On crypto. No, there's no young streamers. It's Marbles it is. Marbles on stream. Here he is. I think he's live. Is he? He is. It's the old timer Marbles guy. What's happening here? We're about to raid another channel. And if you just showed up, you're gonna have to catch the replay or come hang out with us in the Discord. So anyway, if you guys can ready up, go show this dude some love. He's cool, dude. Bye.